Hi everybody, thanks for joining Create with Dee. Today we're going to make this card, I Thank My Lucky Stars for You. It's, again, it's one of those cards that I did at my local card class for my Masculine May, and it's part of the series of cards for the class that I did using the stamp set Going Global. I thought this was a great masculine set of stamps that is available through the end of May 2016, and I love the sentiment, I thank my lucky stars for you. Obviously it's, it does make a great masculine card, but just a general overall thank you card to anybody. So let's get started making this cute card. Our card base is from Delightful Dijon, and this is cut at 5.5 by 8.5. And then we're gonna need 2 pieces of Very Vanilla, cut at 4 by 5.25, and some Designer Series paper from the Going Places Designer Series paper stack. Again, this is available through the end of May 2016, and this is cut at 2 by 4, and another strip of paper from that paper pack, and this is at 4 by 3/4 of an inch, and a scrap of Delightful Dijon cut at 1.5 by 3. With our archival black ink, I'm going to stamp the constellation, the Big Dipper stamp from that stamp set. And I'm going to do both the front and the inside of the card. And let's see, do some random, switch up the shape of it a little bit, of the angle of where it's gonna go. So the multi-pattern one here, this is going to be the front of the card, meaning I've got a lot of the image on it. Put that off to the side. And now for the inside of the card, just want to do some on the corners. If you watched my video Going Global Father's Day card or masculine card, you saw this trick that we learned from on stage using the gold Wink Stella. It's flicking the gold elements on it, and you can really see it on the Very Vanilla cardstock. I'm going to tap it to my fingers, on my finger, to get some cool gold elements on it. And I also definitely want to do it on the front of the card. You want to make sure you don't have any other projects that you're working on that you don't want the gold flecks, because it does splatter. You want to make sure you've got plenty of scrap paper underneath of it. But that's going to give some really neat gold fleck elements. I'm going to be building up the elements on the front of the card here. And so with all 3 of these smaller pieces here, I'm going to make a banner tail on it using the triple banner punch. And what I do is I push this all the way to the back and punch. Easy, easy banner tails. So I'm going to take the 1.5, and that's where these grooves are at. So if I just line it up with the groove on it, I know it's going to punch where I want it to. If another option that I know people like to do is they turn it upside down and they feed it so that they can, see where it's at, and that's another option that you can do. And on this 3/4 one, that's definitely what you want to do, is turn your punch upside down, because there's not a guide for that one. Oops, I'll just make sure that that goes all the way to the top. And punch. Because we're thanking our lucky stars with this sentiment, I'm just using all of my star punches and repertoire that I have. So I've got the star confetti, and with the banner tail that we just made, I'm going to kind of drop that in there. And you can kind of tap it into place where you might like it. And looks good. And punch, and you're going to get all these little confetti pieces flying out. And then you just get another little star element through there. And I don't mind that it's not centered. I just like to have, that motif going through. Again, building the elements for the front of the card. I'm using archival black ink again on some scrap Very Vanilla, and stamping our sentiment, I thank my lucky stars for you. Next, I'm going to take the 1-inch circle punch line it up, and punch that out. To layer the sentiment, I'm going to be using the 1 1/4 inch circle punch to get a delightful Dijon layering circle, and then with gold glimmer paper, with the 1 1/2 circle punch out a glimmer paper. Okay, let's start bringing all of these elements home on our card. So I'm going to go ahead and with snail adhesive, going to put our cute little constellation star pattern in there. I just love the gold Wink of Stella flecking. I just think it's so pretty. This is my pattern on the back. I didn't like how I stamped those together, so I redid it. And that's the side I did with you guys that has the fleck. I just want to show you guys I do the exact same thing that you do. You know, you stamp, you're not happy with it, you turn the cardstock over and you stamp again. See how that's dry already? I'm not getting anything on there. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take our little banner strip that we have, and again I'm using snail, and just kind of place that at a random angle. Next I'm going to take the larger banner and layer that, and take our little star banner and get that on there randomly. All right, so I have a couple of tips for you. One is that if you've ever tried to layer on top of glimmer paper, you know that unless you use hot glue, it just won't stick over time. Adhesive and the glimmer paper just don't go hand in hand. So a trick that I've learned is to take a punch, and we're going to punch out some spot that will be covered up on it. And since we're using the star motifs, I chose the star from Itty Bitty Banner Punch because we can incorporate our gold star later on. So with our snail adhesive on the back side of the glimmer paper, we can put our gold element, our gold circle. And here's the trick, guys. What we want to do is we're going to add a Stampin' Dimensional right on that hole punch or that star punch that we had. And now our layering piece will actually lay on top of the dimensional and not on the glimmer paper. But that's how you can get stacked looks on glimmer paper, is that you need to punch out, an element first so that you can attach the Stampin' Dimensional on something other than the glimmer paper. Excuse me. And I'm doing dimensionals on our sentiment as well. Think my lucky stars. And now we have this cute little star that we can incorporate onto the card. But if you look closely at my card, you'll notice that I also have, besides the Wink of Stella, I've got little gold stars intermixed throughout there for my glittery night sky. So let me show you how I achieved that. With my gold glimmer paper and the star confetti punch, I punched out a couple of series of little confetti stars with the gold glimmer paper, and I put them in a container. This is a like a used button container from Stampin' Up! Or embellishment container, and I've got all of my little star confettis in there. Well, if you've ever tried to pick these little suckers up, they're near impossible to try to get them where you want. So I have a really inexpensive tip that you can try on your little elements here. It's about a 2-cent pickup stick. You get one of those wooden skews that you find at, like in the utensil area at Walmart, and you get like 100 of them for 99 cents. And you want to grab one of your glue dots. And we're going to put that on the tip of it. Then just with your fingers, kind of roll it into a ball and move it towards the end of your skewer. Now you've just made the world's cheapest little pickup stick. Isn't that amazing? I love it. So, hopefully you give that a try so you can put all of these cute little elements on your card. So with the fine tip glue pen, I'm going to, I found that if I work in, threes with the fine tip glue pen and putting a little dab of glue, I'm in good shape. So I'm just picking up some of these stars. Whoops, that one came off. Can you see how easy that makes it? How else would you ever get those little stars where you want them? Put that into place. And just keep going until you've got your stars and however many stars that you would like in there. And then because we use the star to punch out to do our layering element, or for the glimmer paper, I'm going to maybe randomly put that star right there. Okay, just wherever you want to put the bigger star, you might as well use it since you had it. I will let you know that if you use the glimmer paper and our little homemade pickup stick here, the glitter does start to stick on the tip of the glue, or the mini glue dot. And so, you may not get more than a couple of cards out of being able to do that because the glitter will eventually dull the glue on it. No big deal. When you need to, you just pop off that other, the old mini glue dot, and you put another one on and you're ready to go. And then you end up with another gorgeous looking card like this that's sparkly and that you can really send a cute thank you card or even a lovely sentiment for the males in your life. Thanks for watching, everybody, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.